What up, though? Welcome back to the Beat Factory 313 War Stories podcast, and I'm your host, Juice. And today we got with us my Muslim brothers here. We got Omar and we got Pep. And the reason I had these brothers come on here today, because me and Sterl was talking about when Lil Ben got released from the juvenile joint, escaped from the juvenile
Tim.
joint.
Yeah,
Well,
not Tim.
Tim. I mean Ben. Tim. My bad. I'm thinking about Ben. Anyway, Tim, when he escaped from there, me and Ster had elaborated on it, but this my Muslim brother that was there, and he helped Tim get over that wall. Introduce yourself, Omar.
Omar, they used to call me Crazy Joe. We was gang banging and all that back in the 70s. Um, when I seen it, I just happened to go on my phone and I seen it, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't know if he was. I couldn't really understand what he was meaning by it. You know what I'm saying, like that. But I do know, since I talked to you, I do know that they was real tight. That you know what I'm saying. So
That's
I,
right.
I got to I got to give them that. But I was the only one. I can tell you the whole story from the beginning. I was the only one. Uh, I was on 6C. Tim was on
Mhm.
6N, and Mr. White, Cody Black, Mr. Vincent. They was the officers up there, and Tim came back from a visit, and
Mhm.
he came back from court. He said, "Man, Q gonna take the weight, man. So I think I'm straight." But then Cedell came up there to see him on the visit, and he came back and told me, he said, "I got to go, man," just like that. So my mom's came up there the next day, and she was like, I told her, I said, "Mom, I'm finna get Tim out of here." She said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I'm finna get him out of here." She said, "Y'all be careful, this and that." So when we go out to the yard, we go over
Mhm.
to the wall, and I forget what street that is. And he got on my shoulders, and I tried to lift him up. He fell back down. I tried it again. The officers were saying, basically, y'all got to stop that, stop that. So a guy named Fred, Big Flintstone, he told me, "Y'all taking me, help me out, help me out." So I'm like, "Man, come on, man." So we go to the other wall, try to throw him. He didn't. So till we go back over there. And I know all these officers saying, "Y'all got to stop that shit, stop that shit." So we go back.
They
Tim was like,
watching
"Come on, man."
y'all, huh?
Yeah, so he like they watching us. So remember this three times I done tried, twice with Tim and once with Fred Johnson.
Right.
Took and go back over there, and I put him on my shoulders again, jumped straight up, and I'm thinking he gonna fall back. But he had grabbed a hold to the top of the fucking tall ass wall and looked down and said,
Mhm.
exact words, "I'm gone, bro." He's like, "I'm gone." And then CDL was on the other side waiting on him. And I think it was
Oh,
a girl. You see there, a wife up, huh?
Ishmaeli, let the viewers know, because we got a lot of younger people in here, so we gonna bring them up to speed who we actually talking about. Let them. We talking about Tim Kincaid, and we talking about Cedell. Was Cedell last name Kincaid too?
Yeah.
Cedell
Yup.
Kincaid.
Cedell
These are the
Kincaid. That's
brothers.
my daddy. Yup.
These are the brothers of World
He,
Benji Kincaid. You feel this?
he
The
the oldest
Kincaid
out.
family.
Cedell the oldest out of all of them.
Cedell was the
Right.
oldest brother. Tim was the youngest brother, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
The
And
World
He
I'm
was
was
in the
down.
middle.
17. Yup.
Okay, now let continue. My bad. I didn't mean to
No, you
interrupt.
straight. You straight. So uh the last time after he got in he escaped. After he got over, they called us in. They locked everybody down. The head of the youth home and the Detroit police came in there. They had me in there for like 4 hours. They were just mad, just going crazy. I wasn't saying they were just going crazy, mad. Tell me, "You shouldn't
Mhm.
have did that." They gave me an aid in the bed. They said, "You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that." They wind up sending me to the training school in Whitmore Lake. I wound up
Maxie.
escaping. Yeah, I wound up escaping from there, and
Mhm.
I was on the run. So I went to Chicago. I came back, and in 1982 I got locked up, and that's when I seen Tim. Tim had got locked up in August of '81. My mama said, it came on the radio. My mom was like, "They just got Tim. They just got Tim." I'm like, "Damn." So when I seen him a year later, he was like, "Man, I'm so thankful." And then mama came on, they was on a visit, and she came and hugged me. She said, I thank you. Because Tim was able to go to Oakland and have his son. I thank you. She loved me, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And Tim was just talking, man. We just used to walk the yard, hit the
Alhamdulillah.
bag,
And
you
after
know, like that.
that's how
Yeah.
Aunt became family.
I was the
That's
only one.
right.
I was the only one. I was the
He the
only
only
one. I
one
was the
that,
only one. Yeah.
and it
But
was my
before
daddy
that,
that threw him.
Alhamdulillah.
It
but
was
be
my
in this
daddy
in
that. It was my daddy that put him in the car and put him in the trunk. Him and his wife. It was his
yeah.
wife
Okay.
Joanne. I think my stepmama name was Joanne.
Mm-hmm.
I was little. I barely remember her, but it was. But I remember me and my daddy. We was at Cotton in '97, walking the track, talking about it, and he was talking about how he went up the day before to see Uncle Tim, and Dog was supposed to take the rap for
The weight.
everything.
Q was supposed to take the weight. Tim told me that.
Yep.
Tim told me that
Yeah,
out
he
his
was
own
supposed
mouth.
to
He
take the
said,
weight.
yeah.
And my daddy always believed. My daddy, Cedell Kincaid, I'm his oldest. He always said they got to do the catching before they do the hanging. That was his favorite word.
Yeah.
Don't, ain't no turning yourself in. None of that. They got to do the catching before they do the hanging. And that's his Uncle Tim was 17 at the time. And so
Okay.
Daddy told me he felt that his Daddy told me as his big brother he had to do something. So that's when him and his wife threw him in the car, flew him out to Oakland, and him, my daddy, and all them was staying out in Oakland for a minute.
A lot of
Yep.
boys from downtown was going out there.
Yeah. So
That's
my
what's
daddy
up.
ended up Uncle Tim and all them stayed where my daddy came back. And
Okay.
Uncle Tim was out there in Oakland selling tickets and shit. He was selling concert tickets and all that type of stuff. And,
Okay.
and he had fell asleep or something. He was supposed to go and sell some tickets or something, but they kicked in the door at the apartment and got him and sent him back up here.
And it hurt me to my heart because Tim, I asked Tim years ago. Later, I was like, man, did Quincy tell? He was like, yeah. I was like, damn, you know.
And he was supposed to take the weight.
He was
Yeah,
supposed to take the
he came.
weight for
Soon
everything.
as he came back, soon as he came back from the court, he came. They let him come across the 6C where I was at, and he said, "Man, Q supposed to take the weight." That's exactly what he said, nothing else. But then when Cedell came like a day or two later, he like, "I got to get out." He said, "I'm getting out. Get me out." I said, "All right," and that's what made me really believe in God, cause ain't no way or something, cause ain't no way in hell. If you go look at that wall, man, ain't no way in hell that I didn't use we no rope and it was just on my shoulders. I used to do push-ups and squats every day, every fucking day.
What
And
was the
that
what was the juvenile at back then? Was it on Forest Street or
thir-
something? Was it
1333 Forest East Forest.
Forest?
I
Yeah.
think that if I'm
Yeah,
not
that wall.
mistaken, yeah.
Hey, no, that wall was high over there.
Yeah, and we didn't use no rope and that he was just on my shoulders and I jumped up. That
How
was three
tall are you
times.
out? Hey, look, how tall are you out? Because Tim was short.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah, Uncle
short. I'm
Tim was
about
short.
5'9". I'm only 5'9". So
Me too. Yeah,
oh
so
look,
let
hey, Juice, and the only reason why I really only be coming on these, the only reason why I reached out to you is because I done been in spots where guys be talking about that incident, and I'm like they're like, how the no, they I'm the one did this shit. You know what I'm saying? And even at Tim funeral, they wanted me to Vivian wanted me to get up there and speak. I'm like, man, I was like, all right, come on, you know what I'm saying? It was that simple, you know. Me and CDL used to stay in the house together. We used to stay in the basement together.
that's what's up.
Mom's he'll come in from the 4th he'll come in tired, and she be like, you better not let him in, don't let him in. I'll be like, man, I'm letting him in. Then I act like he said, let me in, man. I said, I ain't letting you in, man. So I wait a couple minutes, then I'll let him in. He be like, good looking, I love you, all that old shit, man. Yeah.
Let the world know. We got to tell story about Cedell, man, because they don't know. They hear about Tim and Ben, but you don't hear too much about Cedell. And we got R.I.P. to Vivian, man. Vivian looked out
Yeah.
for all the prisoners in the joint, man. And they could call
Yep.
and she
Making
connect
calls
them.
for
Moms
everybody.
did too. R.I.P. to Mama Kincaid too.
Man, don't
Yeah,
never
you gotta
forget
realize.
C-Dale.
You
Don't
gotta
never
realize.
forget C-Dale. Never
Never
forget
forget.
C-Dale.
Never forget my daddy, because my daddy. If y'all seen certain videos and things with him, he was with Eddie Jackson. He was Eddie Jackson's
Right
lieutenant,
hand man.
right hand man. He was his right hand man. My daddy was going over to Paris to get the bag, bringing it back, putting niggas on. He was a pimping ass nigga. He
That's
Uncle
right.
Omar, he was a fly dressing. He could
Move,
dress.
sharp. Hey, look. Hey, look. Oh,
Oh,
what about this? Hey, what about this? That he took in like I had some sharp shit. He had some super sharp shit. I'd be like, see there, let me wear that sport coat. Let me wear that. He's like, you can wear that shit. And then I'd be like, you want to wear so much? He said, I don't want to wear that shit. I had some sharp shit. But
What about when
mama,
we was in? What about when we was at Cotton? What about when we was in Cotton and I was fucked up? Wasn't nobody sending me shit. You remember that?
I remember. I
And
remember.
everybody came, everybody coming to get me. Juice, everybody coming to get me. I'm 18 at the time. I went to prison for 7 years when I was 17.
okay.
So for armed robbery and shit. So I'm fucked up. My mama's side of the family west, my daddy east. But everybody on the east locked up.
Right.
Grandma too, I'm not asking her for nothing. I'm considered a man now, you know.
Right.
But my mama's side of the family ain't fucking with me. I was fucked up. Remember, Unc?
Yeah.
And everybody coming to get me. Uncle Omar came. Who else was there? Blood West was there. Big Rusty was there. Jabbo X was there. All Spike X, Skip Murder,
Jabbo X,
all of
man.
them was there. All
Mhm.
of them coming to get me, little secret, because nobody knew. I was trying to get my own name. Nobody knew who my people was. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
nobody knew, but I was knocking niggas out and I was fucking niggas up. And then
That's
when they
right.
found out who I was, it was just like icing on the cake. Like, oh, that's why you ain't backing down. That's why you ain't. So it was like they took
Mm-hmm.
me in even more. You know what I'm saying? But I was fucked up. And I was young. That's why I was lashing out
Angry.
on every little thing.
Right.
You know what? I was angry, man.
Right.
And I was angry. So Uncle Omar, all them come get me and was like, your dad on the compound. So my dad touched the yard. My dad touched down, touched the yard, and he got to work. He said, you know how to sack up? I'm like, nah, Dad. He came sacked up. Next thing I know, it was over. I had TVs, I had everything. Remember Lieutenant Towers, huh?
Yeah.
Lieutenant
That's
Towers,
what's
every
up.
time I get something, Lieutenant Towers will come in and take it from me. Then they
Man.
put these big ass knives on me. I ain't never seen these knives a day of my life. He put them motherfucking knives on me, put me in the hole, and was like, so you Cedell Kincaid, son, huh? I said, yeah, man. He said, I've been trying to get this motherfucker for 20 years, but his slick ass always managed to stay a step ahead of me. He said, but I guess I got the next best thing, his son. And he
Hey,
put them knives on me and boosted my level up to level 4 and sent me to Macomb. But that was the
hey,
Get
best
hey,
out
thing
of
they could
here.
ever do.
hey, nephew, in 85, we was in, they sent a couple of us, me, money, a couple more of us, because when you mess up down there, they would send you back through quarantine. Sometimes I caught 2 cases. So we was
Okay.
in top 6. So the people coming through for they testing and all that shit. See, they them was down on they was down there. He was no, see, that was up there with us. But Tony Goodman there was sending salads up, tomatoes, all that shit. And see, they'll fix the salad up and send that hook all us up with the salad and shit like that.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
man. My daddy was in and out of prison my whole life. But the best
Mhm.
thing it was like he was there when I needed him, man. And he taught me how to jail. He taught me how to move the bank. So then everybody know who I was. By the time I got to Macomb, it was known. The bag was
Mhm.
just touching my hand automatically. You know what I'm saying? It was
That's
just
what's up. You know
suicide
when I
was there, boss was there, suicide was there, Black Earl was there, Benny
all
Clay
them
was
my
there.
man.
Benny
Shout
Clay
out to
was
Black
there.
Girl.
Black
Mhm.
Earl, he
RP to
out.
suicide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
RP,
suicide.
yeah. Boss.
Mhm.
Benny Clay
Benny Clay.
I think
Okay.
he used to box, didn't he?
with the
Then he used
best
to
left
Yeah.
box.
hand.
He used
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
box.
Who else was there with Pop Squally?
Pop
Sam
Squally.
Sing
I ain't
Bay.
heard Pop Squally name in a long time.
Yep, Pop Squally was there with us. My bad. We eating right now. We done got the
All
food up
right.
here. I'm in the halfway house and shit. Yeah,
That's
you can
what's
grab
up.
one of them.
Oh
But
yeah, you got to tell them that story too, nephew. They don't know who you are. You got to tell them who you are. Hey, every
I'm
time I see your dad, nephew, you know who your daddy put me in the mind of?
who?
I used to like Superfly. That's who your daddy used to look
And
like to
that's who
me.
that
You
nigga
feel?
was too.
You
That was
right. You feel? That's who he
hey,
And,
for real. When you see,
hey,
I'm gonna show his
hey,
picture. I'm
and
gonna
see
watch
the
him
hey,
and go
look,
say it.
and C was tough.
yeah.
C was tough
And
too.
my
Yeah,
dad,
C
yeah, I
was
remember
tough
that
for
nickel.
real.
You remember that nickel plated 12 gauge he used to ride around with?
Man, he was tough, man. Shit. He was tough.
see you
My
only
motherfucker playing.
see everybody when you hear the Kincaid name, you only hear World, Timmy, and Vivian. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really talk. I mean, all of us who've been in the in crowd know, but I'm saying the average Joe, you don't hear them
Yeah.
say nothing about Big Bro Cedell. You feel me?
Man,
Yup.
You see,
Remember all
man,
them.
Cedell was the boss player.
Tim
You
will knock
feel me?
your
He was the
hey,
boss. Yup.
Tim will knock your teeth out. And you know Ben can fight.
Right.
And see, they'll slap the shit out of motherfucker quick. I'm telling you, he can fight. Shit.
For real.
And he loved pimping them. He loved pimping them hoes too.
And and C ain't trust nobody. When he seen me in the house, he hugged me and all. He like, I love you, man. You straight. We straight. He used to always say that. He used to always tell me that, man.
R.I.P. Cedell, man.
Yeah, love you, Dad. Yeah.
That's right,
That,
for real.
that,
He was a legend of
that,
his time. He pioneered the game in the streets of Detroit because he was with Eddie Jackson and them. So
yeah,
he
you
ran
gotta
with Eddie
realize Eddie
Jackson,
Jackson. You gotta realize
Frank
my daddy was
Lucas,
with him. My daddy was
Frank
with Eddie
Nitty and them.
Jackson at 12 years old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, I
I
know. They
remember,
said Eddie Jackson loved
and
your daddy. Put your daddy
Yep.
on.
Yep.
and
My
then
daddy
I
was driving
remember.
caddies at
Listen,
13, 14 years
I ain't
old.
gonna say, hey nephew, we ain't gonna say too much, but I remember Mama was saying that she'll look up and see there, have her baby, I have Tim around there with him in the house and shit, and that when he drive, Tim had to sit on telephone books and all that old shit. Come on,
Yep.
Right, you feel me? He was schooling Tim.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not
Schooling
now
them.
tell him your story too, nephew. Let him know who you are. You set a trend too. And when I found out it was you, you feel I understood why. You see their son, the hustle in you. You feel me?
Oh, I had the weed vending machine on the side of my house. Y'all heard about a few years back. I'm in the federal halfway
Yeah,
house right now,
that's
doing
right.
900 days. They sentenced me to 900 days for one gun
Right
that
over
was
there,
up in there,
right
and
over
That's
there.
right. Tell them
right
about the
here on
vending machine
Van
so
Dyke.
they know what you're talking about on the west side. That vending
I had
machine.
a weed vending machine on the west side of Detroit where I was the first one to dispense weed, marijuana from there. First one to take Apple Pay. First one to take debit cards, credit cards. Now y'all can go. Now because of me, y'all can go into the dispensary and use debit and credit. Remember, y'all used to have to use an ATM machine. They didn't
That's
accept
right.
that stuff. Now they accept all that because of me.
Hey, we needed you to trademark that, nephew. They owe you something for that.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I had
pioneered something.
4.5 years up, and a rat ass nigga couldn't take his bit, and lied on me and said I was selling guns to minors and pills out the vending machine. They watched me
Get
for
out of
three and a
here.
half months and didn't even get a sale.
That's wild. So that's why they can't mess with the vending machine in the
And
first
then
place.
they made everybody make it look like it was because old girl posted it on social media. But all along, my god brother cousin
Mhm.
was working for him. He got caught 2 times trying to take pills out through the airport. Got caught.
Oh, okay. And so
And you know
he
them tell
claims
me
to get
something
up the
good type
info.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me something good type shit. And he motherfucking oh, I know somebody selling pills out of a vending machine out the side of his house. They watched me for 3.5 months and didn't get none of that. They got me on camera cussing them out, telling them to get the fuck on, all that type of shit. So the last day of the investigation, if y'all know the feds, if you don't get something, they gotta shut it down. So the last
Right.
day they get dog to make that phone call to call his cousin and was like, you remember that AR I sold you? And he said, yeah. And the rest is history. That was on a Friday. They came in my house on a Monday, and all y'all seen it a month later.
Get out of here.
Yep. So they made it look like it was social media when it wasn't nothing to do with social media.
The game ain't what it is. A individual got caught on something else and threw you under the bus. You ain't
Threw
had
me
nothing to
under the
do with what he
bus.
was doing.
Yep. I don't even say maybe 2, 3 words to that nigga. What up? All right. Have a good one. That's probably the most I done said to that boy.
You see
And
what
he
I'm
fucked up my
saying?
whole 4 year. He fucked up my whole 4 year run. Only thing they could say about me was I go out to eat too much and I take my kids back and forth to school. Good looking, baby.
Say that machine was doing good. That was a good idea. You came up with
I
a
was doing
classic
I
for
was
real,
doing
bro.
4,500. I was doing a bow a day, which was 4,500 a day in dimes and 20s
Off the
in 24
machine.
hours. So while everybody was going OT, I was staying right here in Detroit.
Hey, and they couldn't even get you for selling though, because you ain't sell nobody nothing.
And I never broke no law.
That's
Because you could
right.
give weed away, and you could take donations. So
That's right.
basically all it did was like give me the juice, give me the sauce on how to continue. And then everybody be talking about, well, why you didn't open up a dispensary? Why you didn't do this? Why you didn't do that? It's always this, that, and the other, But
Mm.
what they not realizing is what they want 30,000 for the license, and then you gotta have 100,000 brick and mortar. Brick and mortar is your
Mm.
building that you need. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We don't have that. Black people haven't got that. Who got all the buildings and all that? The Arabs. All they
The
got to
air.
do is right then and there and say, my mama or daddy own a liquor store or a gas station or this, that, and the other. And it stops right there with them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So that's what killed me. And now I'm still up. I just put a new vending machine up. So we still
that's
live,
what's up.
$20 extras, all that type of stuff.
That's what's up.
You
You
know, we
feel me?
still 24 hours. We still over there because that's not what I went to jail for. It was the
That's
gun.
right.
I took a plea to the gun. The weed is
Oh,
legal.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? The weed is legal. You can give weed away and you can take donations.
That's what's up. Appreciate you for
Yep,
that knowledge too, nephew. And
for sure.
um,
We got to get back on here. We got to get back on here though.
yeah, y'all do gotta come back because we gotta get Ben to come in and speak for himself. He said he was gonna come in, so I've been waiting on him to call back. You feel me? And I
I
like
can
for
get
him to
little
come
Ben.
on.
I can get little Ben on here.
Yeah, get little Ben to come on too. You feel me?
Yep. I
I,
get,
I ain't
little
seen
Ben
little
part
Ben
of the
since
Cheddar
we've been
Boys.
young. Huh?
Little Ben part of the Cheddar Boys and shit. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. I ain't seen little Ben since we've been young. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, I can get little Ben. I can get him on here. I just talked to him 3 days ago. So me and
Yeah,
him stay, we the first nephews. So we, you know, he the first nephew, and I'm daddy first, so we the first nephews. We tight as thieves.
that's what's up. Y'all supposed to be. You feel me?
Lil Cedell, he died, if y'all remember, at Eastland in Valet. It was all over the news. They
Get out
shot
of
up the
here. That
truck.
was Lil Cedell.
Yeah, that was Lil
They
Cedell
shot him in the car in the valet
in the
parking lot,
Benz. Yup, in the valet
right
parking
in
lot. That was
Eastland.
at Eastland. That was Lil Cedell. Yup.
Man, I did not know that. Ain't nobody say that, dog. I'm sorry to hear that too.
Yup,
I
he was
remember that
Cedell.
happened.
Yup. So we all legend five. We all, you know,
Right. It's in the bloodline. You
in the
feel me?
bloodline. Yup.
That's right. But
And
y'all
Lil
come
Ben
from
been tearing up the streets for years.
right.
So
That's what's up. But we
yeah.
got to get we got to bring y'all together, man. Get y'all on here, man. Get Big Ben on here. Where he can speak. Stop letting everybody else speak for y'all. That's why I'm glad um I reached out. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you reached out. You know what I'm saying? Always, I don't want to tell nobody else's story. You know, that's what it's about. You know, we want to direct the children, let them hear the real stories from them gangsters that they admire, but the
Yeah.
Hey,
gangsters let them
hey,
know that the
When he
streets
sent
ain't
it to
what
me,
it is.
when I seen it
Mhm.
this morning, I'm like, man, we gotta tell our story. Vlad, all them boys be just lying on and then like I reached out to what's his name? He was speaking on me and all that, Vlad TV and what's the other one from the city? The what's his name? The white boy, the Arab boy. What's
Oh,
his
oh,
name?
that is Vlad and the Stein. I know
With the big
Bernstein with
ass.
Scott Bernstein,
What's
Al
the what's
Prophet, Scott
Al Prophet? Al Prophet. I
Al
tried.
Prophet.
Al Prophet was speaking on Daddy one time, and I'm his son. He was speaking on Demetrius Holloway and my daddy and all that. He was speaking on them,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I'm his son. Why don't you ask me? Because the shit you saying is a lie.
Right. Cause see
Never
that,
got a
and that's
word
what's
back. That's why I salute you, because you got right back on it within a couple hours. Like, well, tell us your side of the story.
right for real. Cause them your people. I can't tell you about your daddy. Only you can speak about your daddy. Can't nobody else
Yeah.
tell your story better than you.
That's
You
what make
feel me?
that's what make your show better than theirs, because you got it from them. You got you got all three. You got the truth. What's that saying called? You got three sides to the story.
Oh yeah. What
Your
happened?
side, my side, and the
Right.
truth.
Truth.
You got
Right.
all three sides right now. You know what
That's
I'm
right
saying?
for real.
So that make your show better than them niggas show off top.
Right, because it ain't my portion of understanding. It's coming right from the horse's mouth
It's coming from the horse's mouth or their offsprings.
or they
Because
offspring. Right,
that these is our we grew up hearing these stories, or we was there.
right. You feel me?
They going third, fourth person. Like Unc say, them niggas on there taking credit for shit he did.
Thank you for
and
real.
you know what be killing me? Hey Juice, you know what be
Uh huh.
killing me? I done heard guys for years. I done heard guys for years in the joint, out of the joint. They be saying stuff. I'll be like, man, it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, do you know that for sure? Do you you know what I'm saying? Is you really don't just say nothing if it ain't true, man? You know?
Right, you wasn't there. You feel me? How can you
Yeah.
speak on it? You wasn't there. You know what
Like
I'm
for Uncle
saying?
World, I done seen Uncle World at Macomb when we was together at Macomb. I done seen Uncle World walk up to a group of motherfuckers. I'm talking about the whole yard about to go to war because my cousin playing on ass. Unc gave them
Right.
niggas, you know them Bochalam eye drops. He go
Yeah,
up to that nigga, get them
I know
niggas
what
some
you're
eye
talking about.
drops. He go up there, nigga, and get that nigga them eye drops and say the debt is clear. He say, what the fuck is this? He say the tears your mama gonna be crying if you touch a hair on his motherfucking ass.
You feel me? For
And
real.
that nigga cleared that motherfucking debt.
That's right. For real. And
Yep,
that's
Boss
that's what I'm
Hog was
saying.
there, Boss was there, Suicide was there. All them killers, them young niggas, all them killers was out there on that yard that day.
That's right.
And it was like that shit was like because you know us as young kids is like, oh, we don't care about this old. Well, you fucking with these life niggas who don't give a fuck about shit. You got to outdate, nigga.
Right. And they not gonna
But
just scratch you. They gonna try to get
They
but
you
you
not
out
got
of
gonna
here.
scratch you. They gonna
They gonna
but you
punch
hurt
your
got you
motherfucking ass.
hey, you know why? I ain't come to the joint to 82, but you know why I respect the guys that came before me? It's a reason. Back then, ain't no ganging up on nobody. You had to be like I remember I was in Ionia in 82. I had a
you.
couple homeboys. They got into it with these guys. Ain't no, it was like one-on-one. He'll bust his head, go to hole for 15 days, 14 days, have him in 7 days, stab him, bust his head, catch him in the gym, catch him. I done seen it. And then nobody else get in that shit. And then it was like one-on-one for a long time. And you couldn't just get in no, I remember, I think you had to be like 6 months before you even get in a certain group. I remember it was like that. That's just how I was. I was always a Muslim from the streets. So I was all, it wasn't
Right.
even a whole lot of none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
then, man, you had to handle yourself one-on-one first, off the top. Everybody had them gloves and all. It wasn't all that. You
Yeah,
had to handle that
I
shit.
came in when the tokens and all that was just getting took out. So but when I was growing up, I remember Uncle Ben, Uncle World buying motherfucking cars from the joint, paying for houses in the joint. My daddy was sending money home from the joint. And now I done been through all the stages there. And now
Hmm.
ain't no money. Them niggas in that gang banging for nothing. Ain't no money. Them niggas ain't they stabbing niggas up for a stove bag. When we was in
Get
there, it
out
was
of
for
here.
yeah, them niggas in there and all the OGs and the gangs and all that. The gangs is running the prison now. When we was in there, the religions was running it.
The religion, right. I don't
And
know
I
how they
remember
switched
before,
that.
hold it, but before the religions and all that,
Juice.
it slowly was coming in. So everybody in something now, and ain't nothing wrong with that because reform is good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We
Reform.
not justifying. We not
But you know
making
the old
like
right.
negative shit is good. That's not because it'll mess up the communities, it'll mess up the youngsters, it'll mess up the
Thank you.
grandparents, it'll mess up all that shit, man. We not doing none of it. We not condoning none of that shit. Shit
That's
happened
right.
though. The reality is that shit happened. You know.
That's right. And
I
we
Well,
remember
our
trying
other
to
thing
put
brothers got
is
hit, and that be it. Yeah, and that be
our thing. What I'm trying to say was, wasn't nobody doing no shit frivolously. It was for some paper.
right.
They was trying to get that lawyer fare up. They was buying houses. They was buying cars. Now
Taking
you don't
care of
see that.
family.
They was taking care of family. Niggas was taking care of whole families from in prison.
Yeah. For
They was
real.
paying $3,000-$4,000 phone bills from prison.
Yeah.
Uncle Vivian
Shoot.
stayed working 2-3 phones when I was growing up.
That's why I say we had to give shout out to RIP to Auntie Vivian because
Vivian, yeah,
she
because
looked out for a lot of guys from jail. You feel me?
Vivian. I can remember walking in the house at a young age. Vivian twerking 4-5 phones at a time,
That's
accepting
right.
calls, hanging it up, accepting calls, hanging it up. Them phone bills was 3, 4, 5 thousand back then in the '80s and the '90s.
Right, for real. Because it wasn't no time limit on the phone. They just get on and talk all day. You feel me? They
Yeah,
ain't have to get off the phone.
it wasn't no $3 a call. Them calls was like $15, $20.
Yeah, for real.
So,
That's
but
right.
them boys was getting that bag in, getting that money. Now, because I was locked up when there was that, them boys in there gang banging and doing nothing for no paper, for stove bags, and they doing it for no cause. We at least had a cause.
Right. Was trying to come up with something.
We was
Like you
trying to
said,
come
lower
up.
your money. Family need to be taken care of. No men was still being men then from in jail, taking care of their families on the streets. You feel me?
Yeah, because I
It
was a
was
Atlantic. At first I was a Atlantic, but they made us denounce. Then Uncle Omar and all. And when I got with them, Sunni Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
But that was
And
before I even come to the joint. See what I'm saying?
yeah,
That
you was, yep, you
before.
was.
Yeah.
But me, I took my shahada and everything after that. But when I got my parole, it was the OGs that was like, go sit down,
That's right. Time for
stack
you to
your
go.
money, because you got to go out there to something. I came home with 10,000.
Do a lot. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They made sure I was, the old heads made sure I was straight, because they whole thing is they didn't want me to come back.
That's
Because
right.
once you did a long ass bit and come back, you getting looked at funny, because they
That's
didn't
right.
have a chance.
Yeah.
And now they don't really, and then don't go out there and don't reach back like I fucked up and did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you go back, they really gonna look at your ass funny, like, nigga, you ain't even reached back.
Right. You feel me?
And
Ain't
I'm
say
just
nothing you
being a
said.
100 nigga.
I'm glad you talking, nephew, for real. They need to hear this, because the young heading for self-destruction. So we got to let them know what y'all think was glorified. So we not glorifying like Uncle just said. We trying to
Yeah.
show y'all the outcome of the end of that story. Y'all looking at the glamour of the story. No,
Yeah.
look at
All
the
I wanted to do
deeper
when I
into
grew up
it.
was,
Feel me?
I wanted to be like Uncle World. But a motherfucker ain't tell me while I was growing up the outcome of that shit.
Right. And tell him
And
how
that
long
motherfucker,
Uncle World been locked up before he did get out.
44
Tell him how long
years.
he
That
did.
nigga was locked up 44 years, came home and was up there 18 months. And his mans that I told him don't fuck with set him up over a bitch. Now that nigga went back.
Get out of here. After 44 years. Do y'all hear that, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this? Y'all hear all the stories about Benji World Kincaid. Did y'all know this man been incarcerated 44 years? Do you want to
44 years. Came back,
sit in a 6x9?
had 2 months to go. Had 2 months to go before he his paper was up, and some fuck shit happened to him. He ain't even do shit, to be honest.
See what I'm saying? The game, the streets ain't what it is. You feel
It
me?
ain't what it
And it,
used to be.
right, and they don't understand that, man. Ain't no honor. It's multi other ways that we could generate and get finance now. We gotta come together as a people, though. We not each other's ops. You feel me?
Yep.
Like you said, in the prisons, they warn for nothing. It's the same thing on the streets. Like when we was coming, look all the players. We just got finished naming. That was real heavyweights. Your dad, Eddie Jackson, Demetrius Holloway.
My
You don't.
godfather, Demetrius Holloway. That's who I got my
Right,
middle name from. Yep.
right. You feel me? And that's what Stir was saying. Y'all was all y'all dad and all them was cool. You feel me?
Yep.
So they
Sure
let the
was.
streets, they let the politics of the streets come between friendship. And see, that's what these people don't understand. They think they hear these stories and they don't know the whole story, because they hearing secondhand stories. That's why I like y'all to come on and tell them how y'all outcome really was. You feel me? My
Yep.
outcome was the same. You feel me? I played in the streets and look what happened to me. You feel me? Y'all play in the streets, look what happened, y'all. The next generation, y'all play in them streets, y'all gonna end up telling these same stories.
That shit don't do
So,
nothing but
a
recycle.
revolver, y'all. So we trying
Revolving
to we
door.
trying to break
And majority of
that
us,
generational curse. You
yep,
feel me?
majority of us lose our shit, our good, what we call a good role or whatever you want to call it, either over a
Mhm.
jealous ass nigga or a funky ass bitch.
Them the two outcomes gonna
Them
bring you
two part
down.
that's gonna bring you down. And out them two motherfuckers, you either gonna be dead or in jail for the rest of your motherfucking life.
Right. And who want to be in a 6x9 for the rest of their life? You feel
Yep.
me?
Yep. Where
So
they
when
don't
y'all think
understand.
about
Got to teach them motherfuckers. Got to teach that young youth all that money they getting, how to invest in Roth accounts, how to invest in LLCs, how to invest in yourself.
I wanna get y'all together, nephew, man. Get Lil Ben them on, and I want us to start doing this thing. I got an idea for us, man. With the children, you know what I'm saying. I was talking to my niece because my brother got killed. He was having the game Richie Rich from the
Yeah.
East Side. You know, he got killed in
Mm-hmm.
91, 92. He got killed in 92. So
Okay.
she wanted to do a thing, and I was kicking with Maserati's son. They want to do a
Right.
thing. Children of the gang. Let all the children from all the big fellas' children come together, man, and y'all tell y'all story, what y'all been going through. You know what I'm saying? How what y'all parents' decisions, how it affected y'all. You feel me? On the
Yep.
decisions they made. You feel me? Because some of us was put in them predicaments to follow our parents in their footsteps. Who ain't gonna want to follow they dad? Who don't want to look up to their dad? If they dad being recognized for something, no matter what it is, good or bad, his name ring, and you hearing a lot of good things about your father, people respecting your father. So why wouldn't you want that same respect? So that's why we want to change the narrative to let them know you could get that same respect in a positive form. You feel
That's
me?
right.
It ain't got to be negative. You know what I'm saying? Because this is our future, and we want to create generational wealth. You're not gonna create generational wealth off streets. You feel me?
That's right.
You not. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no most. If you listen to most of these guys' stories, besides BMF Big Meech, everybody else's story rise to the top. They didn't have no long run. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about once they really got successful, not they grind up. When they got to the successful point of
A
being a
lot of them
drug
ain't even
lord,
get a
a boss,
5-year run.
that's what I'm saying. That'd be the
A
most
lot of them,
if
a
they
lot
get
of them
that
they ain't even get a 3-year
2-year
run,
run.
but got 30 years.
Right. So is it worth it? Make it make sense.
It don't make sense. Yep. Yep.
And see, they don't hit it. They just hit the one side. We go get them the whole circle, the whole 360.
Then my
We gonna
son,
let y'all
19, he
hit.
graduated from high school. He graduated from high school. I didn't. I was in prison at his age. See, I told him, you got me beat there. You still free. You graduated from high school. Don't be nothing like me. Be better than me.
That's right. Yeah,
Yep.
we
Don't be
got
nothing
something
like me.
going
Be
on.
better than me.
That's right, for real. And that's what your dad wanted for you. He ain't want you in the same boat. You feel me? He
So
wanted you to
did.
do it better.
Yep.
I mean, they go
Yep.
give us the game when they see we jumped off the porch. So yeah, they go tell us how to do it right if we go do it. But in the actual reality, they don't want to see us do. That's why they did the things they did, so we didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go in jail and stick back. He went to jail, start hustling, sending money home. I got to take care of my children, even though I'm not there physically. You
And you
feel me?
saying that, I can hear his voice. With you saying that, Juice, I can remember us walking the yard, walking that track. And he said, man, I ain't want this for you. But since you here now, might as well be the best at it.
Hey,
You
hey,
feel
I
Juice.
can
me?
still hear them words.
Hey, Juice.
Mm-hmm.
I also one day we need to come on here and tell them about how the police were taking like when we had caught a case in there on the police and they sent us down to Jackson about
Tell him
12:30
that
at night.
story.
They kept us in belly chains and leg irons for 6 months. That's how they kept us 183 days. That's how we beat the case on the 180-day rule. We was in Ionia County. Judge Simon was the judge. Robert Robinson was the lawyer. William Van Eck, and it was 7 of us on the case.
Okay.
Me, it was Skip, Wilson. It was Big Crusher. It was a few of us there, and we beat the case. We broke the police jaw and they ribs. They retired Sergeant DeYoung. And Litchfield, we broke it. He still got wire in his mouth to this day. The reason why we did it though is this little guy named Lil Gully. I ain't even know him. They was on the yard fighting and shit. I was there in the hole for cracking a guy in the head with a pool stick. So he came. I said, man, file a grievance. Step 2, staff corruption, police brutality. Lansing sent it back saying basically like, man, get the fuck out of here. So I told everybody to work out
The volume went out.
to the gym for basketball. We can't, huh?
No, your volume had went out. Go
Can
ahead.
you
You
hear me?
back on. Yep, we can hear you.
When we went out to the gym, I'm the one threw the shirt, and a couple of them guys still around. Threw the shirt over the police head, and me and this guy named T out of Grand Rapids, we the only 2 that got stuck out there fighting by 7 police. The rest of them ran. The other police ran in there with Big Crusher and Skip and them. I wish I could get Skip on here too. And everybody, Big Walls, them was everybody was setting fires and one eye Howard, they was all on the gate. We was in the graves. They sent us out to
Okay.
they
Hey, I
sent us
gotta
out
go.
to
They making
Jackson.
rounds, y'all.
Okay, and let's
Okay.
end it
All
and
right, Juice.
start
All
it.
right.
Hey, Juice,
All
let's
right.
just end it and we'll start it. All right.
Okay, bet. We pause it then. We start it back when y'all come back.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go on and close it out here. The family gave me said go on and close this around. They coming back and they go tell the rest of their stories. But we had to get this in. This is some of Detroit history. You know, the Kincaid family name ring bells in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to have them come on. Everybody else been speaking on them, so I needed them to come and speak for themselves. You know, it's many urban stories, and there's many stories in the urban communities, but this just for one. Stick around, and we got more coming. We need y'all to hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the comments and let us know who y'all want to hear and what y'all want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We very well know the streets ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? The game is over with. You know what I'm saying? We want to change the narrative for our young. This is Aunt Viv. Viv is World, Timmy, and Cedell, excuse me. World, Timmy, and Cedell's little sister. She played a big part and orchestrated a lot of things, connecting the dots with the brothers in the institution, and not forgetting about those behind the walls, accepting them phone calls, making phone calls, and putting money on guys' book. Viv played a big part. Even though a lot of us never met her in person, we know that name rang bells. And also we got Mama Kincaid, we got Cedell, and we got Viv when she was young. This family been around and sticking around in the underworld and the urban communities, and showing different support to a lot of different individuals. You know what I'm saying? And this just stuff that went on in Detroit in the early days. Cedell was a pioneer. He ran with some of the biggest names from Eddie Jackson, Frank Usher, and the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? But you never hear Cedell, so we had to get Cedell his flowers. Thank y'all for tuning in. Beef Factory 313 War Stories podcast. And I'm your host, Juice. And tap back in. We gonna try to get Ben on here. He been saying he gonna come. I don't know what his situation is. So the family go holler at him and reach out, and hopefully he come on here and share his story himself. And till then, I'm tuning out. Remember, hit that like, comment, and subscribe. I know y'all ain't liking me, y'all ain't feeling it, but stop the hate, congratulate, and tune in. And I'm out. Peace.